I'm Dave, a member of the John Maxwell team and your host for this powerful series that defines leadership, its 5 levels, and how to rise to the highest level. It's the second module in the Clear series and pathway for a leader's personal growth. The name of this Clear series is an acronym for communication, leadership, equipping, attitude, and relationships. It's part of the leadership training I received from my coaches on the Maxwell leadership team, and they were so good that I had to share them with people just like you. Now, if you haven't taken the first part, the 5 pillars of communication, I highly recommend doing it after completing this workshop. It's only going to help you grow as a leader and a communicator. Now, before we begin this series of lessons about the 5 levels of leadership, I suggest you complete the first 2 exercises and assessments on pages 3 through 6 of your participant guide. I completed them several years ago, and they have since inspired me to develop my leadership abilities. Actually, they're a big reason I'm here with you today doing this series. Now, with all that said, welcome. Let's get right into the first introduction lesson. This lesson answers the question, what is leadership? Now, we're excited that you're here, as this targeted training will help you discover your identity as a leader and understand the actual responsibilities that come with leadership. A few years ago, John Maxwell wrote a book called Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. In each of the first 6 modules of this training, I'll begin with a question for you to answer that will help you to improve how you lead others. Today's question is, what is leadership? What does that word mean to you? Considering what it means to you, I would like to explain why we define leadership development as progressing through 5 levels. Level 1 is position and asks, who are you? Level 2 is permission and asks, who are you leading? Level 3 is the production level and asks, what is your win? Level 4 is people development, which asks, who is your successor? The top leadership level is the Pinnacle, or personhood, a high level of high respect that asks, what is your legacy? Again, what does the word leadership mean to you? Before diving into the first leadership level, let's define leadership. Let's hear what the leadership expert has to say about it. And that expert, John Maxwell, says, leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Number 1 in your guide states, influence is the beginning and end of leadership. But that doesn't always mean our leadership is good. There are good influencers and not so good influencers, but they're still leading others. Anyone who gets others to follow them leads them because they have influence with them. Let's think about this when it comes to famous and infamous leaders of the past. There were leaders like Hitler, Stalin, and Osama bin Laden, and leaders like Winston Churchill, Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King. All of them influenced many people, but their outcomes determined what kind of leaders that they actually were. What the world needs today is genuine leadership that's worth following. This kind of leadership requires a process of growing into a person who can have a positive influence and be in a position to make a positive impact on the world. Now, you and I have some level of influence with others, and by default, that makes us a leader to some degree. Now, we believe in you. And as you take time to dig into these lessons and apply each step to your leadership, we know that you're going to see growth. Good leadership requires a process of personal growth, not just a position. Positive leaders utilize their positions to bring about positive change in our world. Number 2 in your guide states, we often think of leadership in the wrong way when we think leadership is just about external accomplishments rather than internal disciplines and commitments. A survey conducted in Africa of 1,000 children before they graduated revealed that 76% didn't want to be leaders upon graduation. When asked what leadership meant, they described it as corruption, manipulation, and self-interest. After 16 weeks in the youth program I lead, the same kids answered that leadership question as service, gratitude, significance, and putting others first. When asked how many now would like to be leaders, 84% said yes. What a paradigm shift. However, remember, like those kids learned during those 16 weeks, personal growth is a key component of becoming a more effective leader. Let's take a look at number 3 in your guide. When you decide to be the type of person people want to follow and begin developing your leadership skills, you automatically start making a difference in the lives of other people. The question of who and how many you influence always begins with yourself. You and I can always lead ourselves better. To do that, we must change our paradigm and shift our focus from becoming bigger and more impressive on the outside to becoming bigger on the inside and having an impact. When you do, your influence will begin to flow naturally rather than by force. Number 4 in your guide explains what Maxwell Leadership believes makes our team and leaders distinctive. We lead because we value all people. Values are essential, and valuing everyone is the only way to lead effectively. At the Maxwell team and Rhema Christian Center, we believe that everyone deserves to be led well, and that includes people of all races, backgrounds, and beliefs. People, backgrounds, and beliefs can change, but principles remain constant, and good leadership knows and applies them to all people in all situations. We also believe growth is infinite. There is no goal line to personal development. The primary reason for growth is not just for personal accomplishment, but to be better, to be able to add more value to people, and to improve ourselves today so that we can be better tomorrow. We understand the distinction between personal success and significance, as well as how to transition from success to significance. Remember this: success is what happens to you, but significance is what happens through you. Here's your roadmap for increasing your influence and leadership effectiveness. Keep in mind, the foundation of leadership is values. The world becomes a better place when people become better leaders. Look at number 5 in your guide. Get better, be better. Become a person worth following. Once you start or continue your growth journey as a leader, the growth you begin to experience will challenge you to be even better. And always remember, people deserve to be led well. And as leaders, our goal is to develop our potential and help others discover and reach theirs. Now that's all for this lesson. Reflect on what was said here today and know that the following 5 modules will help you grow in understanding and grow your influence as you learn the 5 levels of leadership.